Welcome back, Alaska. Michael Ives here with your Sunday sports update, and we have some championship results from last night's interior action. But first, we start with some big breaking news from the Yukon Quest front. One of the race leaders appears to be out of contention. Eureka, Alaska's Brent Sass has held the lead for about 6 of the last 8 days of racing, but had to be hauled into the Braeburn checkpoint by officials after a fall on the trail today. Reports from the Canadian media show that Sass was injured early this morning and had to be recovered. Unofficially, reports say that Sass may need to be airlifted for care, but the same report also says he is in stable condition. This is a giant change for the final push in this year's race, and Alan Moore now has a pretty clean sailing ahead of him to the finish line. Moore holds first place over Hugh Neff now by a sizable margin as he gets underway from Braeburn for the final 100-mile push into Whitehorse. Neff is approaching the Braeburn checkpoint and will have a mandatory 8-hour stop there. With Sass out of the running, rookie Matt Hall will assume third place, followed by Cody Straith in fourth. They, however, trail the leaders by about 150 miles. Defending champion Alan Moore leads the 2014 Yukon Quest with a 100-mile run to the finish line on his plate. Now, last night was Game 3 of a weekend series for the Ice Dogs against the rival Wenatchee Wild. With Fairbanks taking the first 2 games of this series, Saturday's matchup ended up being a closely fought battle. To the Big Dipper, where Kevin Aldridge gets another start in goal, and he would be put to work by Wenatchee. The Wild would take an early lead as Brendan Harris beats Aldridge glove side. Then the Ice Dogs would answer in the second period as Ethan Somoza stays hot and buries a feed from Hans Gorowski. Somoza now has 5 goals in the last 6 Ice Dog games. A shutout third period and overtime period leads to a shootout for all the marbles. Trading makes, they would go into the 10th round of this shootout before Nick Hins finally gets the deciding score, and the Ice Dogs sweep the Wild right out of town. Now to MAC title game, where high school hockey had a dog bowl matchup for that conference title. The Malamutes and the Wolfpack would face off for MAC supremacy, and it would be the Pack running the show. Goalie Lane Wood would get the shutout on 13 saves, and the Wolfpack whips 47 shots on goal and finds the net 6 times for a 6-0 win. Gabe Rankin had a 2-goal night for the Wolfpack, and they click on all cylinders as they head to Wasilla for the state championships. The Lathrop Malamutes will also play in Wasilla as the MAC number 2 seed. Rankin tells us about the joy of competing for the state title.
Express it myself, but I wouldn't rather have it with anybody but these boys. We're a team, we're a family, and I'm excited to go to state with these fellows.
The Interior's top high school wrestlers are down in Anchorage for the ASAA state tournament, and we have a couple local champions. Starting off with Ben Davis from North Pole as he took the title in the 285-pound class, beating Kodiak's Leo Sega in a tiebreaker. Another interior champion was crowned as Lathrop's Joe Dickinson won the 160-pound class in convincing manner. The overall team title would go to Wasilla, with North Pole leading the interior teams in 5th place overall. Lathrop finished in 8th, and West Valley finished 16th. Now to the Alaska Nanook men's basketball, who's had a habit of dismantling opponents who dared step on the Patty Center floor this season. Last night, though, they faced one of the top 20 teams in the nation, and Seattle Pacific was able to turn the tables on the host Nanooks. The home winning streak would end at 11 for Alaska as they would try to knock off a tough Falcons squad, but they were answered at every turn. Stefan Tizzo would sink 3 triples on his way to a Nanook high 17-point night, and Andrew Kelly again played well for the Nooks, but Seattle Pacific would get a checkmate in this contest with deadly shooting and an emphatic dunk in traffic by Patrick Simon. The Nanooks fall by a final score of 67-56 and now sit 3rd in the GNAC with an 8-5 conference record. Seattle Pacific holds on to 1st place in GNAC play. Now for a better Nanook result, we'll turn to the Alaska Rifle Team, who is in Ohio for the Patriot Rifle Conference Championships. It was small bore competition time yesterday for the Nanooks, and they would shoot 3 of the top 4 individual scores as the Nanooks cruise to the small bore championship. They beat the 2nd place team, Texas Christian University, by 33 points. Alaska's Ryan Anderson would be the overall individual winner in the small bore event with a score of 587. Nanook shooters Lauralee Stanfield and Tim Sherry finished second and fourth respectively in the conference. The championships will conclude today with the air rifle. And that's all the time we have for sports tonight. I hope you all enjoyed this special Sunday weekend sports update. For more KTVF sports, you can log on to Twitter, YouTube, webcenter11.com, or download our mobile app. Keep on keeping on, Alaska. Mike Schultz is up next with your full weather forecast. Also, enjoy these Sochi Olympics, and we'll see if Team USA can keep adding to that medal count, hopefully with some shiny gold. Joe Cook will be back tomorrow with more KTVF sports.